Revealed today. BTS's Jungkook finally spoke up, but not about the album, not about the career, and not about the usual rumors. For the first time, she confessed about something that has been only a wild speculation of fans. Love? Hidden secrets? Who has been hiding from the world all this time? And even more surprising, why did the ARMY actually feel devastated when it heard this confession? Jungkook just confessed. And ARMY is not okay, revealed today. BTS's Jungkook finally speaks up about his hidden love, making ARMY cry. Is this the end of a mystery that can only be guessed at? Is this the start of something bigger, more honest, and just maybe more painful for some fans? Today, it's not just the K-pop world that's been shaken. ARMY, who had been a faithful witness to Jungkook's journey, was left speechless. Not because of achievements, not because of performance, because of the simple words he said, and no one expected that the phrase would come out of his mouth. What did Jungkook really say? Why did he choose today, of all days, to finally open the old sheet that he had always protected so tightly? The question hung like a dark shadow in the middle of the stage light that always illuminated his figure. Jungkook, the golden magne who never wavered in the face of the spotlight, suddenly looked fragile. His face is not as cheerful as usual. His voice trembled slightly, and his words so slow, so hard to get out. "I don't want to hide it anymore," he said quietly, in a short video released without promotion, without teaser, without prior notice. That moment, millions of soldiers around the world held their breath. Is it about personal relationships? Someone from the past? Or about the love he had kept in silence, amid the cheers and the ever-blinding spotlights? It stopped for a moment. "Get down." His eyes stare at the floor, as if looking for courage in silence. "I've lived in fear long enough. I've loved someone for a long time, but I'm too afraid to say it because I know I don't live just for myself." Burst into tears. Comments flooded social media. Twitter, Instagram, Weverse are all full of hashtags that go up without a cue. Hashtag Jungkook confession. Hashtag ARY heartbreak. Hashtag hidden love revealed. Who's that guy? Is he an idol too? Fans? A childhood friend? Or even someone who wasn't on anyone's radar all along? Even more surprising, in the video, Jungkook does not mention names. But he gave me a clue. And the hint, too strong to ignore. He was always there, even when I didn't know how to love myself. He touched the deepest part of me without having to hold my hand. The ARMY began to search. Match every lyric, every interaction, every gaze in music videos, V-Live, to variety shows. And the deeper they search, the less ready they are to accept one big possibility. What they've always thought was just fan service. Maybe not just fan service. Did I ask this about a BTS member? Is it about a friendship that has been too beautiful not to keep something deeper? One name keeps popping up, over and over, in every ARMY's shattered and curious theories and minds. Taehyung. But is it true? Or is this just a diversion? Is this confession really not about who is loved, but about the courage to love in an ever-judgmental world? Love doesn't need validation, Jungkook says at the end of the video. But I need honesty for you guys and for myself. Then came the most controversial questions that are now hotly debated in the fan community. Did Jungkook just confess that he has a hidden love that has been considered taboo by some fans? And more importantly, is the ARMY really ready to hear it? Behind the tears and sweet words that flowed on social media, there were also sharp comments. Some feel betrayed. Some feel lied to. Some feel this is the highest form of courage. Will this change Jungkook's relationship with the ARMY forever? In a short-lived after his confession video, Jungkook reappeared. His face was still calm, but his eyes were glazed over. This time he spoke directly. "I know this surprises you, but I don't want to die without ever being true to myself. I want you to know that love is not something to be feared, even if it doesn't live up to your expectations." A few seconds after the word death was uttered, the ARMY was completely unable to remain silent. Why should he say that word? Have you been living under that much pressure? Did he ever think about giving up because he couldn't be himself? These questions are so haunting. And the answers one by one began to appear through old fragments, old photos that have been posted and then deleted, the lyrics of songs that were too personal, the expression of the eyes when performing songs like Still With You or My Time are all messages coded. The screams hidden behind the music, ARMY divided. Some cried while writing messages of support. There are those who question everything. Some people suddenly feel like they never really knew Jungkook, and in the chaos came the shocking comments from other members. Jimin wrote something on Weverse. "Sometimes the truth is harder than the lie, but I'm proud of him." Then the genie only pinned one black heart emoji. Does everyone know about the secret? Have they been protecting her in silence? To be clear, one thing is undeniable. Jungkook's recognition today shook the world, shattered the boundaries between idols and humans, and slapped hard on the illusion that all could be controlled by management. One question echoed. Does the ARMY really love Jungkook for who he is? Or is he just an idealized version of themselves? Today, it's not Jungkook who's changed. But our eyes are now open, and the world of K-pop will never be the same again. How could a sentence shake the world so deeply? What did Jungkook actually keep all this time? And why, behind all the glories and smiles he displayed on stage, was the pain so deep that he felt he had to apologize just for loving? Those questions have now turned into burning embers of discussion across social platforms. Not only is Weverse filled with messages of support and shock, but also Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, even the mainstream news media are starting to smell the emotional crisis that is more than just love gossip. "I love her in a way that I can't explain in a song," Jungkook said in a follow-up video that appeared 3 hours after the first video was uploaded. At first glance, the phrase sounds like the lyrics of a sad ballad. But the context is too real to be poetry. Jungkook's face was not smiling. His eyes puffy, his voice low, as if he had just finished crying. The camera only highlights his face without filters, without background music. This is not promotional content. This is not a project. This is a cry of the heart, and the screams were clearly heard by millions of hearts who all this time could only look at him from the screen. But why isn't the ARMY okay? Perhaps because for the first time, they see that behind the figure they idolize, there is a young man named Jungkook, who loves, who is afraid, who is holding back, and who has chosen silence just to be able to continue to look perfect in their eyes. "I am afraid you will leave me," he said, "but I'm more afraid of living without ever being honest." That point, in the 17-minute video, becomes the emotional culmination moment that silences all the jokes, all the speculation, all the conspiracy theories about who Jungkook's true love is. Which is more heartbreaking? He didn't want to explain further. He did not name names. But giving one sentence back leaves the world riveted. "He'll understand why I didn't say his name. But you'll know by the next song." And as always, the ARMY is the best detective. As soon as the second video aired, thousands of fan accounts began to unpack all the songs Jungkook himself had ever written. Starting from Still With You, My You, Dreamers, to songs that have never been officially released. There was one demo that he had played on V Live last year. Only 30 seconds. But the lyrics read, "You waited behind the curtains while I was shining under lights." The lyrics have gone viral again. What does it really mean? Is he talking about someone who loves him secretly? Or about someone who had to hide because their love was not allowed to perform on the world stage? Who's that guy? Wild speculation is inevitable. Names are appearing. There is a mention of a female trainee from HYB. There are also those who dare to say the name of a Japanese female celebrity who has been seen sitting in the front row of a BTS concert. But the most shocking name appeared in thousands of tweets in 10 minutes after the confession went viral. Kim Taehyung. Not because fans want to force them to be more than friends, but because the clues so far are too hard to ignore. Gaze in the Run BTS. Proximity when recording video, friends. Mysterious message as Taehyung says, "I know all the secrets, but it's not my right to share them." And Taehyung's short comment under Jungkook's confession video, which was just a single sentence that burned up the entire fandom. "It's about time, John." Is that a blessing? Or is it a sign that Taehyung is the one who has been Jungkook's hidden love? ARMY is divided into such complex emotions. Haru, confused, devastated. There are even those who choose a hiatus from social media to digest all this. Meanwhile, HYBE was silent. There is no clarification, no rejection, no defense. Only one story upload from BTS's official account featured a quote in Korean: "Love is the courage to hurt and be hurt." Is this a sign that the agency is giving Jungkook the freedom to speak? Or is this precisely the form of damage control that is arranged very carefully? Even more terrifying were the rumors that came after. Jungkook is going on hiatus. The hashtag Protect Jungkook is trending globally. Fans demanded clarity. And today, the world is witnessing that there is no earthquake more powerful than the truth that has been buried in silence. Is the world really ready to accept it? Or is it our unpreparedness that hurts people like Jungkook? What was most surprising was not just his words, not just his tears, but his courage in choosing the right time to speak when he was at his peak. This is not the heart of someone who is broken. This is the honest voice of a man who has earned everything except the freedom to love openly. However, who exactly is the mysterious figure? Who is so mean that Jungkook can keep everything in his heart for years? A mysterious message reemerged in the form of a photo shared by Jungkook on his Instagram story just minutes after the second video went viral. A blurry picture. A pair of black shoes, standing in front of a wooden door known as the door of BTS's private recording room, and on top of the picture it says, "This is where it all started." ARMY, who recognized the floor pattern and the color of the door, immediately associated it with Taehyung's private studio. Is this a covert confession? No name, no face. But all the clues seem to point to one person, and here's the most heartbreaking part. How Taehyung reacted a few hours after Jungkook's upload. Taehyung's usual quiet personal Instagram account suddenly posted a 9-second black and white video. No sound. Only his hand held a piece of paper with handwriting. "Thank you for being brave, even though I wasn't ready." The sentence struck the ARMY's heart like a hammer. Suddenly, all conspiracy theories turn into emotional truths. During this time, they were not just close. They're not just friends. There was something more, something that could not be said because of the pressure, the system, and the expectations of millions of people. And do you know the most heartbreaking part of it all? It's not just because Jungkook is crying, not only because Taehyung also secretly confessed, but because we all unknowingly may have been part of the reason they couldn't be honest in the first place. If I love someone but you hate them, am I still your idol? It was written by Jungkook in the comments column of an ARMY from the Philippines who said that they felt betrayed because Jungkook hid his love story. The comments spread widely. Become a viral quote. Be a reminder that idols, in the end, are just ordinary people who want to be loved unconditionally. And now, the domino effect begins. In South Korea, popular talk shows such as Knowing Brothers and Radio Star are said to have prepared special episodes about Jungkook's courage and pressure on idols to maintain their image. Pop culture watchers started talking. In fact, one of HYB's music producers leaked that Jungkook's next song will be Manifesto of Hidden Love that was finally released. Even Jin, who recently returned from military service, co-wrote something on the Weverse platform. "We are not puppets, but sometimes we are forced to smile like dolls. Jungkook is too good to pretend for life." The statement was immediately met with tears by thousands of ARMY. Many were struck by the fact that they had enjoyed Jungkook's work all this time, not knowing that there was pain that he had kept to himself for the sake of it all. But will this recognition lead to consequences? Rumors are circulating that HYB is now holding an emergency meeting. A number of major advertisers are reportedly reviewing sponsorship contracts with BTS. Some speculated that investor pressure led the agency to consider a media exposure restriction strategy for Jungkook in the near future. However, on the other hand, the support of the international ARMY is even more heavy. Hashtags such as hashtag We Love You Jungkook, hashtag Let Them Love, and hashtag TaehyungTruth topped trending in over 32 countries. Old videos that were previously ignored are now being rewatched. Every look, hug, even laugh between Jungkook and Taehyung is now considered to have a deeper meaning. And if you ask, is the world really ready to accept the reality of their love? Then the answer will only come from one place: the soon-to-be-released song by Jungkook. According to a leak from one of the producers, who declined to be named, the song has already been recorded with Taehyung. The temporary working title of the song was called, without saying it, whose initial